Welcome to Master the Game. I'm Juice. This is Paula. We are going to guide you through RPG a day and this video right here. So let's get started. So today's word is guide. Do you want me to take this one or do you want to take this one?
I'll let you take it.
All right, so there's a lot of ways I was thinking about this. It could be like a game master guide, a player's guide, things like that. Mm-hmm. And I saw something the other day where people were talking about books and how you name them. And, so I was really wanting to go that direction. But I'm going to talk about NPC characters and throwing in an NPC to guide players.
Yep. Okay.
So
cool.
Today, and we've talked about these things before, like I've used the NPC character to help in our Heroes Unlimited game. Very ineffectively. But I've used it a little bit even when we played with Nate and Dustin. Remember we had the guide who, it was the girl. I think it was the girl. Yeah, I was using the girl miniature, and we were guiding you to, was it Sandstrom or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember exactly, but then you came across a boy. Wasn't there a boy?
Sure.
And then eventually it led to the vampires and stuff that you guys fought, and then you got the dust to that. Now, the thing I hate about NPC characters being inserted is a lot of times, for instance, if you're the players, the DM may or may not use them in battle to help you. Mm-hmm. Or they will forget to use them because they're purposely not trying to sway the combat that they've mathematically balanced with the equations from the books.
Or they legitimately forget to use them.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, I have 8 monsters to control.
Right.
And then,
see, I purposely give it its own
like,
marker on the screen.
Oh,
usually.
Shit.
So I'll have NPC rather than monsters on the card.
I just do them all at the same time.
I'll usually have them at the same initiative, but it's usually before or after it on the screen. Because I use these little tents that I slide, which again, you can download those on my website too, under GM aids under the downloads over at rpgjuice.com. So the other thing that I really hate is when you have somebody who goes too far with it, where it's literally a character they made that they love and just wanted to play, but they're forced to be the game master.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad because then they steal spotlights. They'll come in at the last second, oh, well, I have this ability to do this. And they're still rolling their dice behind the screen. So you also can't verify that they actually rolled well or just fudged it to make their guy look cool.
Oh.
That's the worst.
I didn't even think about the rolling part, but it's just spotlight. I feel like NPCs, they
should not have the spotlight.
Yeah,
ever.
they're great, support characters,
sure.
Second edition, classic is, to have, an NPC wizard, right? Because nobody wants to play the wizard in
or
second edition. Yeah, because, they can't do shit.
Or the rogue.
Right. No, rogue's
That's because you were always the rogue, so you didn't experience that.
The rogue is fine, though, at low levels. You can do stuff. You're fine. But,
no, if you don't have a rogue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying, a lot of the utility stuff in older editions, it felt like if you didn't have players that wanted to play it.
Oh, you had to play it.
Yeah. A lot of old school, it's we need a healer, we need a wizard, we need a rogue.
Nobody ever wanted to play a wizard because, you were so slow at leveling. You had your spells were just crap.
Yeah, you start weak, but become powerful.
Yeah, even then, they were so they were very utility in second edition. We need the wizard because we need to be able to levitate. We need to be able to,
read scrolls
and become invisible or whatever. They were just utility characters. When you get stuck, then you're okay, wizard, your time to shine. And it sucks to be that player because you don't get stuck all the time.
Yeah, I never experienced all that, especially with wizards. I've only experienced it with rogues. Oh, you can't get past this door. You need to pick the lock.
Nice.
Okay, well, my barbarian dude is strong. Let's break it. and I rolled poor. Crap. Or you have a DM who says, yeah, okay, you break the door with your shoulder, but you take this damage. Like, that's, I hate that.
I mean, it can
hate
happen.
that. But, yeah,
Anyway.
I felt like in previous editions, you always had to worry about that. At least from the stories I've heard. 5th edition, you can almost do everything no matter what class you are. Like, you don't need to have this or that. Like, anybody can pick locks, but, you need the tools, and then it's a sleight of hand check, or whatever. I think it's sleight of hand. Or it's just a straight check, I think, dex check or something. I don't know, I'd have to look. It's been a minute since I've played, but, But yeah, it usually just requires tools. So anyways, that's my thought. I just hate a lot of times when people use NPCs as player characters, basically. What about you?
Yeah.
For guide.
So for guide, okay. Let's talk about like legit guides.
Okay.
That, you're trying to get from point A to point B. And, you have to hire a guide. Like, you end up sort of in that same situation where it's like, is this going to be like an official NPC, or does this guide just help them? And then what happens if the guide sucks at being a guide? Like, how do you know to pick the right guide? Maybe a person in the party should just be a guide, but then, like, you go the wrong way for, like, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I've only experienced this in Tomb.
DM is stuck, like, talking about the same shit for, like, 2 weeks, right? You're just like, hey, nothing happens, nothing happens. Goblins, nothing happens.
If you have a guide, you shouldn't get lost, no matter what. Like, you just shouldn't.
Is that what you do?
I don't have guides happen usually. I mean, if the players went to a place seeking out a guide, I would have one. But I don't think I've had players seek out a guide before.
So, do you usually just kind of like...
They're familiar with the area. Like, if someone comes to me right now and says, hey, I want to go across state, I know how to get there, and I know multiple ways to get there. I'm not going to get lost. It could be a torrential downpour. I will not get lost.
I mean, that's true.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But you're also, like, driving down a car, in a car with roads.
But they travel these jungles all the time, or they travel these paths.
Yeah, but, like, what do you like? That tree looks like that tree looks like that tree.
To us.
I know.
Yeah, I don't think it's that way to the trained eye. Think about it.
Maybe.
They have people who do this. Like in South America, they'll go, hey, let's go to this tribe in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah, but
I'm your guide. I know how to get there.
But those people are like trained guides.
Right? And that's what a guide would be in a game.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, so what if you have a player in the party? Like, you're just going to let the
party...
If
they're not familiar with the area, you got to roll for it. If there's not a distinct path, you're rolling for it. But think about it. If you're trained, like anyone who is trained to travel, especially in times like that, the only thing you have are the stars. Right? So you always know what direction you're going.
That's true. You could
so it's basically a built-in compass as long as it's not overcast.
You can just switch in walk at night.
Right. Well, in daytime too, if you know what time of day it is, you know where the sun is.
That's a good idea. I mean, I didn't really think about that.
Yeah. I mean, this is how we've talked about me being able to tell directions sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not... Nope.
I can just be like, well, I know it's morning. I know where the sun is. Okay, I know which direction I'm going.
Yeah.
Or I know... it's harder at night for me. I don't know enough about constellations.
He's like, yeah, you just go east.
You just go east and follow the Big Dipper. Oh,
but
wait.
What direction
Where's
is
the Big
east?
Dipper?
Like, I don't know where east is. Like,
usually you're in a car, though, and our car says east. We have a built-in compass.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. You would not make a good guide.
Can you just, like, edit that part out?
Nope.
I forgot about that.
No. But the only time I've ever encountered this is in Tomb of Annihilation anyway.
That's true. I mean...
But I feel like it's kind of crummy how...
Yeah, but...
It should really only happen if you don't... It should really only happen if you don't take a guide.
But I think there's a lot of opportunity in Tomb to really, like... explore different areas and just sort of happen across stuff.
Sure.
Versus, hey, I'm looking
I could see playing that game forever without ever getting to your destination.
And yes, you could.
Like, I could, it's random, roll a D6 or a D8 or a 6, because they're hexes. Yeah, I could totally see screwing that up.
So, just so you know, I kind of, like, threw you guys a bone a lot of times.
You don't have to tell me any of
that. I'm like,
you don't have to tell me that.
Well,
Don't ruin the mystery of it.
Don't listen. Don't listen. I mean, because sometimes it's just like, how many times are they gonna walk around, and I don't know. And
I'd just go with it.
Some of the like jungle monsters in Tomb, it's just like,
I could see us going with it and getting lost, and then Erica like losing her mind. Like, we have literally spent 7 sessions in the jungle doing nothing. Where's my magic item? I want a magical sword. Because she's a paladin now.
Yeah.
I was going to say mace, but she's not a cleric.
Yeah.
And I don't want a mace. I'll be mad. If I get a mace, I'll give it to the paladin.
I'm going to fill the place with +1 maces.
Oh, gosh.
Makes of lightning damage.
At least make it interesting.
Damage.
I'll take the lightning one.
Oh, hey, I have done a good job of making magic items interesting in there, though.
Have you? I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember.
I don't remember that game. It's been like 2-3 months.
For St. Patrick's Day, they got presents from a leprechaun, which they decided to use. Great decision.
Yeah, it is. I don't remember what they were. I decided to use it. Everyone was like, no, don't do that.
There's like a ring that... Anyway, it's fine. We
Yeah.
don't need to talk about it.
No.
Anyway, guide.
Did you cover it?
Bring
We're good?
back around.
I think we're good. So, anyway, so that was Guide. That was our 2 takes. Let us know who had the better story and who you thought was more interesting in the comments below. I'm Juice. This is Paula. Game on.